Good morning, skiers and snowboarders. Man, I'm going to title our First Tracks report this morning over on skisoutheast.com with pretty much wow, just wow. I'm going to kind of go through the snow report as soon as I can, as quickly as I can, rather. But let me just tell you, first of all, it's a good bit colder this morning than it was yesterday morning, probably 10 to 12 degrees colder than it was yesterday morning. We've got some resorts temperatures that are down around 35, 37 degrees in some locations. But the big wow is the amount of rainfall that we saw, mostly in western North Carolina. Some of the other ski areas, like Snowshoe, picked up 0.87 inches, right at not quite an inch. They really didn't get any rain. Canaan Valley, same thing, and 0.85 inches at Canaan Valley. They really didn't get any rain up there in West Virginia until after the day sessions had already closed. What I can tell you is we had a pretty consistent amount of rain, consistent drizzle, consistent rainy weather on and off all day long. But man, mid-afternoon, the monsoonal type rainfall came. I got on and did a late night report on Saturday evening talking about 2 inches of rainfall that had already fallen in some locations. As we're looking at Appalachian Ski Mountain right now, the reason I've stayed on there and focused on there is you can see even a lot of their terrain park crew is repairing damage as we speak. And I got to tell you, some of the snow grooming and maintenance that I saw this morning at Sugar Mountain and Beech Mountain is just turned things around. You can't believe what they look like first thing this morning. But I will tell you, at Appalachian Ski Mountain, they reported, I looked at rain gauges all over the region, really at every ski area in the southeast mid-Atlantic. That's why it took me a little longer to get to this video update this morning. But Appalachian Ski Mountain got 4.10 inches of rainfall. And I talk about it a lot in some of the First Tracks reporting, but App dropped 10 inches of base over 24 hours. That's a lot. Also dropped down from 9 slopes and trails open to 6 slopes and trails open. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But just to run through some totals, Sugar Mountain, 2.63 inches of rain. Seven Devils, 2.47 inches of rain. Banner Elk, 2.37 inches of rain. Beech Mountain, I was watching skiers and snowboarders even last night close to 9:30. They were still open. Sugar closed early. Appalachian closed early. Wolf Ridge closed early. A lot of the ski areas closed. But I saw snowboarders out at the top of the mountain on Beech Mountain yesterday. They got 1.75 inches. But trust me, there was some hard rainfall at times. Maggie Valley, Cataloochee, 1.22 inches. So you can see all of the heavy storm, all of the heavy rains, torrential rains at times. We even got some lightning and thunder late yesterday afternoon. But again, anywhere from 1.22 inches at Maggie Valley, Cataloochee area, up to 4.10 inches at Appalachian Ski Mountain. So just crazy rainfall. I mentioned before, but Canaan Valley and Snowshoe both picked up about 0.85, not quite an inch. Wolf Ridge Resort, 0.77 inches, and then pretty much the rest of the ski areas were spared in Virginia and going up into Maryland, as Wintergreen, Massanutten, and Bryce all picked up about a half an inch of rain. Winter Place a little less than that, and Wisp about a half inch as well. So really the heavy rainfall was pretty much kept over or stayed, I guess, in place around the western North Carolina higher elevations. It was crazy. Let's go ahead and get to it. Again, we're watching the terrain park guys doing repairs. I watched some people sliding down here. You can see there's some, thin areas kind of already starting to show a little bit here and there, even at Appalachian, which is kind of unusual. But they are reporting this morning a 10 to 24 inch base. Again, dropped 10 inches off that base. groom conditions, they did a marvelous job. I got to tell you, 6 slopes and trails open, 5 lifts. They are open for night skiing. 42 degrees there this morning at Appalachian Ski Mountain. Also, I'll just tell you, whenever I was looking at, you can see the groom conditions here at Beech Mountain. Late yesterday afternoon, things were looking pretty rough, and it was really just strange to see 4 to 5 days worth of almost around the clock snowmaking going on in a lot of these ski areas. And then when that rain hit, obviously in the milder temperatures, certainly put a damper on things. But Beech Mountain was doing some amazing grooming this morning. I'll show you the top camera because there were some impressive clouds. Right now we're zoomed in on the clouds, but this will come back and you'll see some pretty impressive pictures here of the cloud cover, down below, and the fact that they've done so much really great grooming. Today, all this fog that you see here, this cloud cover that you see even at the top elevation here at the top of the summit, all that's going to dissipate and go away. It should be a beautiful sunny day. And good trails. Beech Mountain still open with 10 slopes and trails, 22 to 36 inch base. They're calling it wet packed. I'd call it groomed wet packed because it's actually going to be fun to ski that today. Probably some nice soft carved snow, but 10 slopes and trails open, 5 lifts. They are open for night skiing. They do have their park open. No snow tubing today, and no ice skating. They closed both of those at Beech Mountain. I'm going to take you in alphabetical order again today, just simply because it's a little easier for me. Spent a lot of time updating a lot of the rain totals and things that I saw across the region. So if you will, just let me kind of give it to you in alphabetical order again today. Bryce Resort, they've really not done a good job of reporting this season. Their own website hasn't been updated in 4 days. Looks like they're setting up some race. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure if they're doing repairs there or if they're just doing some training there or whatever, but quite a few people up on top of Bryce. But they're still reporting a 30-inch base, wet packed, 6 slopes and trails open, 1 lift. And they are not open for night skiing. They are reporting tubing open, but I would call ahead because, again, they've not really been doing a good job of updating so far this season. I'm not sure what's going on in that respect. I'm going to take you now to West Virginia's Canaan Valley Resort. Again, alphabetical order. You can see some raindrops still hitting the camera there, so they're getting a little bit of light precip today. That's not meant to stick around. They are open with a 20 to 40 inch base, calling it frozen granular. I'd call it variable and frozen granular. 17 slopes and trails, 2 lifts. They are not open for night skiing, but they do have tubing and ice skating open. 46 degrees there at Canaan Valley right now this morning. So we're going to go alphabetical again. Here's a good shot, by the way, of the base portion of Canaan. You're going to see some thin and worn areas, thin coverage areas, maybe some bare spots here and there, even at Canaan. So, it kind of is what it is. Going again alphabetically, drop over to Cataloochee. And they too, when I was looking at this first thing this morning, they too had done an amazing grooming job. They did drop a couple of slopes, and I detail all those in this morning's first tracks report over on Ski Southeast, but reporting a 30 to 52 inch base, a significant drop off their base depth. Groom conditions really have done a fabulous job to get the 7 slopes and trails ready for you today. Again, 7 slopes open, 5 lifts. They are open for night skiing. Do have all 3 sessions today. 42 degrees over at Cataloochee and Maggie Valley. I'll give you a top shot if it's not zoomed in to the wrong part. Here we go. So you can see somebody's coming off the lift up at the top as we speak. But again, 30 to 52 inch base. They do not have their snow tubing hill open, so snow tubing is closed at Cataloochee. I'm going to get over to Massanutten Resort in Virginia. Massanutten is still reporting 5 slopes open, 6 lifts, and I think 6 lanes of tubing, 20-inch base. Nothing's really changed there. They are open for day and night sessions. 50 degrees there at Massanutten this morning. I've already talked about it a few times, but Ober-Gatlinburg is closed for skiing and snowboarding ops. They've been closed for a couple of days. They do have snow tubing open, ice skating, mountain coastering, a lot of stuff going on there. Sapphire Valley is also closed. They tried to open up yesterday, and then things just kind of went south from there. But the bottom line is Sapphire Valley is also closed. You can see some of the other shots here. This was so much snowier 48 hours ago. It was crazy. Everything was covered in snow. Lots of snowmaking going on. So a huge turnaround. Plus to get to a pristine, gorgeous conditions, and then right back over to challenging all of our snowmakers and snow grooming crews across all of the mountains. Going to get you over to Snowshoe now, where things pretty much status quo. Yeah, there's some discoloration. Yep, you're going to see some worn areas, some thin coverage spots, some bare areas here and there, but Snowshoe is still open, reporting a 42-inch average base, 42 slopes and trails open, 14 lifts open for day skiing on the main portion of the mountain, day and night skiing over at Silver Creek, and they do have snow tubing open as well. Still playing on 169 acres, and still plenty of side-to-side coverage. I'll give you a shot down here at the boathouse. You can see much the same thing. Looks like Lower Ballhooter is looking pretty good shape, coming all the way down. Let's get you over to Silver Creek here, where you can kind of see same thing, good side-to-side coverage, plenty of snow, plenty of good coverage there to ski on. And then I'm going to take you probably to my biggest surprise of the morning. Really expected to see things a whole lot worse than what you're seeing here at Sugar Mountain. Yesterday afternoon, things were just, I don't know how to say it except to say challenging at the base of the mountain. A lot of worn, a lot of thin coverage, a lot of bare areas at the base as skier traffic wore the base down yesterday afternoon. But Gunther and their crews obviously done a really good job of maintaining that snow. They dropped one slope from yesterday's offerings. They do have an 18 to 40 inch base. I think dropped 10 inches off of that, 19 inches off the top side of their base. But loose and frozen granular conditions at Sugar Mountain. 8 slopes and trails, 4 lifts. They are open for day and night sessions. Snow tubing, I think, is closed. They do have ice skating open as well, but snow tubing is now closed. Omni Resort also dropped one. Omni's, I kind of talk about this in the first tracks over at Ski Southeast, but they were reporting a 4 to 8 inch average base. Had 2 slopes open yesterday, dropped it down to 1 today. But their 4 to 8 inches looks better than some of the resorts' 15 to 20 inches or so or more that they're reporting. But they are open for day sessions only. 45 degrees there at the Homestead Resort in Virginia. We'll now take you to Wintergreen, which yesterday we just really couldn't ever give you really good shots. The rain gauges there are only showing about a half an inch of rain, but a lot of times when I looked at it, there was some significant rainfall going on, so I'm not sure how accurate that is. But Wintergreen Resort also dropped some slopes today. They are now open with a 24-inch base, groomed conditions, 4 slopes and trails open, 2 lifts, and they do report that they are open for night skiing. I do not think they have their snow tubing hill open. As I understand it, that is closed for today. So now we'll go in alphabetical order. We'll go to Winter Place Resort, where you'll see things still look pretty doggone nice. Tom Wagner and those guys done some really good grooming and snow maintenance. Winter Place is still open, what they're calling groomed, granular, and variable conditions, with a 12 to 32 inch base, 13 slopes and trails, 5 lifts. They are open for day and night skiing. They do have their tubing park open, but Terry Pfeiffer and their crew, Tom Wagner and those guys, are kind of telling you to call ahead if you're thinking about snow tubing, as the weather and conditions could affect operations there on the tubing park. So if you do want to go snow tubing today or thinking about it, or you're up that way, you may want to call ahead just to make sure. I'm going to get you now down to Wisp Resort, where they were spared a lot of the rainfall. We kept looking and things were kind of damp and misty looking, but we never really saw heavy rains going on there. They still picked up, I think, around a half an inch of rainfall, but Still reporting a 20-inch base at Wisp Resort, groomed in loose granular conditions. They are down to 9 slopes and trails open. They did drop a couple, 5 lifts. They are open for day sessions only, and they do have ice skating and tubing going on. In fact, it's 48 degrees there at Wisp Resort. Last but not least, we'll take you to Wolf Ridge, where things have really been narrowing up over the last few days. You can see the slopes have really kind of gotten narrow there on the main part going up the hill. They are still, though, reporting 4 slopes open, 2 lifts, no night skiing, no tubing today. They did close their tubing hill, reporting a 14 to 28-inch base. And as I said, things are kind of thinning up as you're looking up the mountain, but is what it is. I guess we're going to weather this after all. Man, there's monsoonal rains. I don't know what to tell you, except things were just crazy overnight with, again, 4 inches of rainfall that fell at App, almost 2 inches of rain that fell at Beach and Sugar. So I'm kind of amazed to see the conditions that we're still showing right now this morning. So that's it for your Sunday video snow report, Sunday, January the 12th. Think cold, think snow, and be sure to get over to skisoutheast.com today to check out our First Tracks report. I give you a lot of information about the rain and prospects of weather over the next couple of days, with a couple of nice days now in a row, and then a little bit of damp weather in the middle of the week, and then cold air, and looks like even some snow may be returning to the mountains going into Martin Luther King weekend. So be sure to check out Ski Southeast for that. Also, Joe Stevens will update his Snow News is Good News column today. We may get you a fair amount of additional content as well. So thanks again for visiting. Stay tuned, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.